Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome to Loddlenaut as part of the Wholesome Games Direct. Game Awards Showcase is a bit of both, but my friends over at the Wholesome Games Direct actually reached out and said, like, hey, you want to cover this game? And a couple other demos that I'm going to be featuring over the next couple of days, at least a number of them. And I took one look at Loddlenaut and I was like, oh yeah, it's about cleaning up the ocean and taking care of really cute little axolotl creatures. It's got this really nice low poly style, kind of reminiscent of a short hike. But you can actually do like chunky pixels, defaults, which is kind of a midpoint, or none. And I actually really like the look of all of them, but I'm going to leave it on none because I know some people don't like chunky pixels. I don't know, it's something about 3D run through a pixelization filter is like really attractive to me. Hello, I'm Dave. I'll be your supervisor during your time on the GUP 14. As usual with the Wanderbot video, we are turning down the sound effects. They're too loud for me. That's better. Still kind of loud, actually. Your first task is to clean up the pollution in your landing zone. There's a lot of work, or there's a lot of it, so you better get to work. Is there? Looks pretty clean to me. Unless it's that dark stuff, I have no idea. I'm just gonna dip some more of these down. Unless the, no. Oh, here's some. How do we pick it up? Do we press E? I think, oh, I have to go through those before I get everything else. There we go. Okay, hold and release to scan. If you have trouble locating nearby pollutants, be sure to use your helmet scanner function. Oh yeah, there we are. I'm just gonna grab things. I'm getting Astroneer vibes from this, but it almost seems a little bit more cute. I mean, Astroneer was pretty cute though. What I'm hoping is it's kind of like a weird mixture between Slime Rancher and Astroneer, where you're taking care of cute creatures, but you actually are doing some base building. Looking at this, I think we might actually do some base building proper, which is what I'm hoping for. I mean, one way or another, games about, like, I would say games about real life things are kind of super attractive to me at the moment. Climate change is like one of my by and far biggest concerns in life, and I know a lot of people like to be like, it's not that big of a deal, but like, if you believe that, I don't think you should be watching my videos. I don't think I want you here. I get enough of that from other people, and it's like, nope, it's a big deal, it's a problem. And while I realize that a video game is not necessarily like the best, oh, not gonna be up. Oh, I see, I've gotta select it. Oh. Oops. I see, so I have to have the correct thing selected for it to actually suck. There we go. Interesting that it's teaching you about sorting recycling, which... Oh, there's the last bottle, I knew it. Realistically, recycling itself is kind of its own problem, and like, there are 1,000 documentaries better than I could ever possibly give it, but you know, recycling, especially plastic recycling, and all of their like different codes and stuff is very much just a thing produced by the oil industry. Congratulations, you've proven yourself capable of performing basic litter collection. You're now authorized to leave the landing zone. Please proceed to Ripple Reef for your next task. I don't know which direction that is, so I'm just gonna go here and maybe this boost ring will take me places. You have just left an oxygenated zone. You'll need to monitor your oxygen meter from now on. It's like a small bonus. Be sure to periodically refill your oxygen tank at the floating recharge ring by your landing zone. Okay. Oh, the ring, the ripple ring, is how we get stuff. This is toxic waste material that we refer to as goop. Use your laser on your bubble gun to neutralize it quickly. I'm assuming just suck? Yep. Looks like suck. Do not hold. Yeah, I have to just zap it a bunch rather than click and hold or something. Which is fine. Almost kind of wish I could control this with FPS controls or something. Great work. Fully cleaned plants have increased resistance to the goop spread, so make sure you're thorough in your cleaning. Oh, what was... Oh, this reminds me of the Gunk. That game made by the... Ooh, that's actually really pretty. The game made by the SteamWorld developers that I really liked a little while ago. Obviously, this is a little bit more kiddish and more about environmentalism. Though, I mean, I guess that one was about environmentalism too. Look, I have a favorite trope, even if it's a little ham-fisted at times. It's still just kind of nice to see the things that, you know, give me extreme anxiety in life being recognized. Admittedly, maybe not so much mass market, but no, it's still mass market. I mean, if you take a look at Horizon Zero Dawn, climate change is a huge factor in that one, as is, like, unchecked corporate greed and the idea of the, oh. Do not attempt to eat that fruit. We don't know what effect it has on humans. But the tubi fruit I must consume. I like the idea of our character just being this, like, bizarro, goblinoid man that's just like, I'm just going to eat weird ocean fruit. This area is known as Ripple Reef. Pollution levels on the planet have made it uninhabitable. There we go. Your job is to clean up all the contaminants in the area. I'll be monitoring your progress as you work. I hope this game actually... Okay, one, if the developers are watching, please let me actually just hold down click. All this clicking to zapping each and every one of these individual things is actually making my RSI flare up a little bit. Not that it's a huge issue, but it's still there. As, like, a potential problem. Oh, wait, hold up. These things. If I'm not mistaken, they were putting out bubbles. Yes! Okay, so I can just hang out above these things. And just grab oxygen instead. It's not perfect, but it's a good way of getting it back. I played Sonic the Hedgehog when I was a kid. I know what this is about. I was wondering, looking at this, I'm like, I bet those bubbles actually give you oxygen back. And the answer is, yep. There we go. What was I going to talk about? I don't want to, like, complain too much about climate change, because I realize that, like, probably a lot of other people are bothered by it, but I don't know, it's just... It's nice to see at least some people recognize it as a problem, and I think the games industry is a little bit better at recognizing societal issues. At least decent chunks of it. There are definitely, you know, your couple of examples of, like, not political games that are actually quite political in their own veins, maybe less of an aggressive stance, question mark. But, you know, to actually see, like, indie developers especially tackling some of these harder topics in different ways. This one I think is maybe a little bit more marketed at children, as kind of like a, you know, I don't want to say dumbing down of, like, fixing climate change, but, you know, just making it more of a thing people are aware of, I guess. Like, when I was a kid... Can I actually do things with this? Yes. Okay. When I was a kid, you know, climate change and taking care of the environment was like a no-duh thing. But over my lifetime, it's been kind of odd seeing, you know, just how many people treat the environment like dirt. Even so much as, like, I've been house hunting lightly for the last year, and it's always kind of baffling to see, like, looking at pictures of houses, and you'll see them with these, like, beautiful gardens that maybe somebody else had, and then you look at the like, post renovation, because somebody would, like, flip the house, and they'd tear down they'd chop down all the trees and get rid of all the, like, beautiful native flowers and plants and stuff, and replace it with, you know, green lawn, and it's just kind of like, oh, that sucks. I think it's the trees that get me the most, just because, like, I love trees. Leaves are annoying, but, like, the shade is worth it. And some other stuff. And it's odd to go through life more or less being fed a healthy diet of, like, hey, taking care of the planet is a good thing, and, like, respect nature, don't litter, don't be awful, some other things. And then to find out that, like, there's a lot of people that just saw those exact same messages and lessons and just said, like, yeah, sure, whatever. And even like nowadays, like I'll encounter one of those people who's just like, I don't really care about the environment. It's not going to affect me. And I'm like, you sure? Die bag. There we go. And so I almost kind of feel like the easiest way, I mean, apart from the fact that, you know, climate change is just getting worse, and the effects of it are getting worse and will only continue to get worse. I feel like just market saturation of just the attitude of like, hey, we actually do need to care about these things. Even if a lot of it's going to be a little too late, it's still kind of nice to see like it quickly becoming the thing that people almost care most about. Or at least one of the main things that people care most about. And so, to go back to the idea of, oh, good work, you've made this area a bit cleaner, but you still have a long way to go. Why is this so satisfying? I'm just zapping goop. I would love to be able to do this in real life. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I like the idea of being able to just zap trash and suck it up from afar. I don't really like touching trash, which I think is why I get really mad when people are, oh, I bet this thing is just a mega air vent if I clear it out. I could be wrong, but still. Okay, gotta finish my thoughts, otherwise we're gonna go from there. But, I hate to say market saturation of, you know, in the marketplace of ideas, saturating the market with ideas of like, hey, dealing with, climate change is, like, actually a really good thing, and we should all take care of the environment better. And, like, you know, if people aren't going to behave themselves normally, then we just need to make it normal to, or this idea is so normal that it becomes socially unacceptable to be environmentally unfriendly. I guess would be the easiest way of describing it. I don't know if that's the most wholesome thing, but it's kind of one of those where it's just like, what was it? I don't know, I actually saw a complaint about climate change, oddly enough, where somebody was whining. It's like, why is this like the most common message that I see like video games use as their like, you know, primary theme? And I'm like, huh, I wonder why. I don't think those people are actually that common. I think most people are just indifferent or waiting for somebody else to solve the problem for them. I mean, I don't want to say I'm like guilty of that. I'm certainly looking into it. One of the easiest things you can do for the most part is just stop eating meat, ironically enough. Doesn't seem like it would affect, but turns out the meat industry in the world is not exactly the most wholesome. And also, I don't know. Wait, buddy? Oh, that's just a Loddle. It looks like it's covered in goop. Unfortunately, you are not authorized to use your laser on the local wildlife. Not after what happened last time. Best to just ignore it for now. What happened last time? Please tell me. Am I a criminal? Am I here as penance for what I've done in the past? Am I the litter bug? Possibly. Okay, I realize I haven't done anything about this, but I'm really enjoying it from like a visual and just ambiance perspective. Like, this is totally the kind of game that I just load up if I was having a hard day and just say like, yeah, I want to clean up a little. I want to have some peaceful music, some lovely visuals, and just to kind of do a thing. It's power washing simulator, but with, I think, a deeper message and also cute axolotl creatures. Because I think the Loddles grow up to be like proper axolotls. I was reading an article about bugs and how we're actually in the midst of like a pretty big mass die-off for bugs. And well, like, I'm sure a lot of them are actually quite endangered, it's just nobody cares to keep track. And I think a lot of people are also just disinterested in saving bugs, you know, they're just bugs, who cares? But as a kid, I always loved the idea of fireflies. I never got to see them much because I didn't live in areas where fireflies were prevalent. But I got like 1 or 2 summers where I got to see a lot of fireflies. And then I see news articles going by being like, yeah, all the fireflies are going away. And I'm like, no. You know, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it, for the most part, apart from change some of my habits and then try and use my position as an influencer to actually, you know, talk about these things. And I realize that for the most part I'm preaching to the choir. But it's still kind of one of those that for like every person watching this video, maybe a third of them are going to react really poorly to it. A third of them, well, maybe not a third, it's more like 10%. I've been pretty good at being severely unattractive to, I think, the people that would take issue with my personal beliefs. But, you know, a chunk of people would actually listen to me and say, like, okay, fine. You know, what if I swapped one day of meat that I normally eat out for something else? And let me tell you, like, meat replacements have gone, oh, goop from that Loddle's contaminated the local flora. Try to avoid swimming near any plants until you get the Loddle clean. Unfortunately, I still don't know how to clean the Loddle. I'm assuming I gotta clear up Ripple Reef before I can actually... Oh, wait. I have a bunch of recycling. I'm gonna clean this up. Congratulations, Ripple Reef is now adequately clean. I'm sure any native creatures would be happy to live here. There's still plenty of goop. This is unacceptable. We found out my cousin-in-law, he's been working on tracking plastic in the oceans and dealing with the like Great Pacific Garbage Patch and some other things like that, and was on a boat for like a chunk of this year, just going around tracking, using satellites and stuff, tracking the plastic there and like working on kind of, it's more like data gathering for, but this music's really loud. I'll have to just run this through a normalizer probably. Don't worry about it. But, so he's been working on that, and I know Shell and I have had kind of this conversation a couple of times, because both of us would have had the opportunity to go into, environmental science or something adjacent over the last, well, you know, post-college, or not post-college, but as part of college. Like, we could have actually gone for environmental degrees, and so Shell had been looking at it first. I don't think I was specifically as motivated there, but there's always been that, like, slight regret of, like, man, maybe we should have actually done something a little bit more, something a little bit more directly important for helping, you know, save the world. But I still feel like being just a voice that people listen to and talking about these things, even if it's not like my main purview, but just occasionally being like, hey, did you know that like oat milk is actually pretty good and like meat replacements are good? Like, I legitimately do not like the taste of ground meat anymore because I've gotten so used to eating Impossible Burger, and I guess if you got a Wegmans nearby, their meat replacements, their like replacement ground beef is actually really solid too. I should probably actually grab this bubble. I don't think there's a replacement for steak yet. There's some pretty good replacements for chicken. But steak is like the one thing. But I'm just waiting for lab-grown meat. That'll solve that problem nice and easy for me. And I can wait as long as I need. And, you know, having steak at a restaurant once every couple of weeks or months, like, that's not so bad. It's really just the people that are like, hey, but what if we had meat in every meal? It's like, you need to? Because during the pandemic, Shell and I kind of asked ourselves that question, because, you know, the meat was coming back kind of gross, because we weren't going grocery shopping, because we were being reasonably cautious about our... If only we had some other device that could restore it back to health. I think I'm supposed to take all the recycling back and turn it in and get rewards, but I'm currently cleaning. Poor Loddle. I'm just being a jerk. Okay, maybe we go back. How do we go back? Where am I? I think we go this direction. I could be wrong. Let's see. But yeah, so we were ordering groceries for at least the first chunk of the pandemic, just because we didn't want to, you know, we didn't want to expose ourselves. Why take the risk? And frankly, ordering groceries seems like just a kind of convenient thing to do anyway. So we started doing that, and most of the groceries were fine. Fruits and veggies were a little bit iffy, so we switched to frozen. But the... Oh, looks like the recharge ring blasted the goop off the Loddle. I think you should return it to Ripple Reef now. No. I don't know what that is, but at least now we have an answer. Okay, so we want to switch this. Because these things have, like a meter. Oh, cool. You've recycled enough litter to form a material bit. They can be deposited at the shipping station in order to get new equipment upgrades. Oh. Okay, bottles next. They'll probably get me another one. Yeah, how good is the suction on this? Seems pretty good. It looks like there's separate types too. Glass bit, plastic bit, and metal bit. So what are you? F to use, crafting station, purifier bomb. Consumable burst of cleansing energy. Ah, if I use the fruits. But then we have this. So more time exploring. Snag that. I like this system. Got an oxygen canister. A little bit more. And then structures. Fertilizing station. Stimulates fruit growth on nearby plants. Useful, but not really that important to me. I was hoping to get a little bit more than this. Oh. Now, do I have any kind of storage? Because the only immediate problem is... Oh. Open inventory. Oh. I have more inventory than I thought I did. It's a very Subnautica UFO undersea habitat? Microbase? I'm sure there's a better word for it, but I am blanking. I am elsewhere on these things. Anyway, I was talking about why I largely stopped eating meat, because like I was never particularly passionate about the idea of being vegetarian. The watching all those documentaries talking about like, hey, meat's kind of bad for you and the environment. That was definitely kind of what pushed me to start considering alternatives. Looks like the Loddle's now more comfortable living in this area. Better here than near our precious equipment. I think we just want to run around grabbing some fruit. Because I guess there's actual practical applications for these things. If I can kind of sort of grab them. But so... ordering groceries, we kind of got sick of the meat coming back like gross. Like actively disgusting. Slimy or actually just rancid in a couple of cases. I had the same problems with milk too. That we'd order a gallon of milk and it would just come back bad. And it's like, why? Ripple Reef is flourishing. You have an entire planet to clean, but before you can continue, I must first write a performance report. Okay, we got a little bit more over there. I'm sure HQ would like to hear from you. Let me give you the necessary means to contact them. Oh, no. Okay, so. I was still trying to clean it while this popped up, and so I hit wish list a bunch of times and joined the Discord. You've completed all the tasks in the demo, but feel free to keep playing as long as you like. Let's see. New tools and upgrades, Loddles to raise, biomes to explore. So, I'm just gonna finish this up so it's 100% just because, but I think this is a charming little game. It's definitely I wish the demo was maybe like 10 minutes longer, and you got to maybe interact with the Loddles a little bit more. But whatever. I'm not too greedy here. It's just, this is pleasant. Okay, so what am I missing? I would like a ping that says like, hey, you're missing a thing here. I think it just makes them light up, but it would be nice if there was like a little bit of a glow on the edge of the screen being like, hey, here's the thing that you've missed. Because, I have no idea what I'm missing. I'm sure it's probably some trash. Well, there's the Loddle. Ah, and at least a little bit of plastic. It'd actually be kind of neat if you could, train the Loddles. Hold out item. Oh. Interesting. That Loddle seems to be growing new features with each bite of fruit. Ah, no matter. Don't let that creature distract you from your job. Excuse me. I'm going to get supremely distracted here. Gonna have to watch my oxygen, but whatever. It's growing fronds. That Loddle's grown too fond of you. Please scare it away by blinking your helmet lights. First I will grow my Loddle, then I will try and spook it. In reality, though, like, you really shouldn't... Well, I don't know. You shouldn't be messing with the local wildlife that much. Because if they get to the point where they're dependent on you, they quickly lose their ability to live normally. Well, that didn't work. It seems to like you even more now. It's so cute! I give up, play with the Loddle all you like. Just please don't forget about your job. What an absolutely adorable game. Can I get it to follow me? I was hoping I could get it to grow legs or something, but whatever. There. Pose for the camera. That'll be my thumbnail or something. Okay, what was I even going to say? I don't know, I don't have too much more to say. I mean, I think you guys mostly get the gist of why I stopped eating meat as much. Though, my parents definitely pushed me back a little bit more on the meat eating side, but I am hopefully going to be moving soon and can maybe finally, like, really adjust my diet. Because I'd like to go down a good 40-50 pounds. You know, it'd be nice. It's easier when you're eating, you know, very little things that are kind of crummy for you. But who knows? I also live a very sedentary life. Wow, Ribble Reef is practically spotless. I'm sure HQ will appreciate all the work you've done. Okay, well, looks like we're pretty much done with this game, at least for now. There might be some more secrets to find and other things to interact with. I would love to see this game actually just be a planetoid, where you are literally just on a sphere. The environment almost looks like that could be the case. But I'm not entirely sure, but I think it would be a really neat way of having a really self-contained environment. And then if they really wanted to, they could actually do just like a procedurally generated mode later on, where it's kind of the same planet every time, but the environment's slightly different, just if you want to play it again, so it's not the same locations. Or not. It doesn't matter that much. Anyway, let's just deposit these, and then we'll call it quits for here. What a lovely little game. Definitely the kind of game that, like, if you have a kid and you want them to play something nice and easy, while also remaining charming and objective focused, I think this very much would be something to keep an eye on, or even just get immediately when it comes out. Because, like, I've got some cousins who have kids, and they're asking for, like, hey, do you got recommendations for games that, like, we could give to our kids that are, you know, wholesome and fun and nice? Because they play Minecraft pretty much exclusively because the parents don't know what other good games there are. And, like, this one would be very close to the top of the list in my opinion. By far. But I guess with all of that said, we've come to the end of our time, we've come to the end of the content, and I will probably be back for more of this. I think next time I'll bring Shell. I don't think this game's gonna have multiplayer, unfortunately, but that's fine. It would be lovely, though. You know, just two people out in a reef cleaning it up. Ah, no dice. Moon Lagoon. Nope, they've never made a game before. Well, either way, charming little game. And looks like, yeah, the demo is available now if you guys want to play it yourselves. But it's coming out sometime in 2023. Beyond that, don't know. So, I guess with all that said, if you guys like this video in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like, helps more than you know. And if you want to see more rad new indie games every single day, then hit subscribe. And I'm going to leave a link to the Wholesome Games Direct that this was showcased during, that my friends put on, and reached out to me to kind of help promote the games, and I might as well promote them a little bit too. But with that, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.